Hi guys, this is Keshav Malpani. Welcome back to 12 Minutes to CLAT, and in this particular session, I'm going to be discussing as to how to properly analyze your mocks, because I think all of you understand that analyzing your mock is very important to be able to avoid those mistakes or try to work on those mistakes as well, जो कि हम generally mock test में कर देते हैं, be it silly mistake or be it any other kind of mistake that we make. When we analyze the mock, we're able to understand कि भाई how do we improve on them, what are the kind of mistakes we've been making. So if you're not analyzing your mocks, if you're not giving that time to the mock after doing it as well, please ensure कि आपको अब से करना शुरू कर दो. One very important point about analyzing your mock is that it should be done on the very same day you write the mock. I'll tell you why. See, for example, on a particular day you did a mock from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Now you are expected to do or analyze that on that same day, because whenever you analyze something, you clearly know कि भाई what I did wrong, what I did incorrectly or correctly. In the incorrect questions, for example, say the answer was D, but you marked C. Now, for C also, you would have some line of reasoning, right? That line of reasoning would definitely be wrong because answer D है, right? But your line of reasoning can now be very well matched to your option D as to what is the reasoning given for D in the answer key, right? क्या होता है when we do it 2 to 3 days later, we sometimes forget as to what we were thinking when we were marking option C. इसीलिए it's very important to analyze it on that day itself, that very day itself, right? Now let's understand as to how to analyze a mock. That's also one tedious exercise. Obviously it takes about 1.5 to 2 hours to some students, and ये लगता है, and that's completely fine. So the first step is at dividing the questions that you did in those mocks or did not do into 3 parts. The first part is the correct answers. The second part is the incorrect answers, and the third part is not attempted. Obviously, we do not do all the questions, right? So let's say in a mock test, you attempted 90 questions. Out of them, 70 are correct and 30 you did not do at all. So I will divide into 3 parts of 90 attempted. We did 70 correct and 20 were incorrect. ठीक है? And obviously like 30 were unattempted here. तो यहाँ पर first of all, I will start my analyzing from those questions that are correct. Now, when I say this, a lot of students ask me, sir, why do you want us to analyze questions that we've anyway done correctly? And we don't have to see that, वो हमें आते हैं. But what happens that a lot of times, particularly in the reading sections, which is critical reasoning, English and legal, our answer sometimes is right, but the chain of thoughts or the thinking that we have may not be as what the examiner is expecting. So it's important that we quickly look at the answer keys and as to see as to what is the reasoning given for those answers, right? So you may be right at times, but it may be a tukka or a fluke. So इसीलिए हमको समझ में आ जाएगा कि how can we improve on that as well. Then we would come to those 20 questions that we did incorrectly, right? अब वो incorrectly जब हमने कोई question किया है तो वो definitely उसका कुछ और ही option answer है. So we'll have to read the questions carefully. We'll have to read those options that we marked also, and we need to see as to how different were those options which were the correct answers. Then we will understand that. Now let's say you did not attempt 30 questions in that exam. Out of 30, there is a possibility that you saw 20 questions, you did not know the answers to them, है ना? But बाकी के 10 questions you were not able to see at all. बाकी तो हम देख ही नहीं पाए. तो इसका क्या मतलब है? That in those 120 minutes you are able to do 110 questions. So you need to make space for those 10 questions. ये हमें समझ में आता है, right? So we need to fix the time. We can take maximum 30 minutes for English and logical reasoning. For legal reasoning, we can take up to 35 to 40 minutes. Current affairs won't take more than 10 minutes, and maths also, if you know, it will take about 10 to 12 minutes, and a maximum to maximum 15 minutes. तो ये टाइम आप डिवाइड कर सकते हो. इनमें से किसी सेक्शन में 5 मिनट कम, 5 मिनट ज्यादा इज योर कॉल, बट इससे ज्यादा समय मत लगाओ किसी भी पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन में, बिकॉज otherwise you won't be able to complete your paper. Now once you are done with the entire analyzing, you've made some notes out of it, आपने समझ लिया क्या करना है, हमेशा on the top of that, and जहां भी आप एनालाइज कर रहे हो उसको ऊपर एक नंबर लिखना जो आपको लग रहा है कि भाई I did 20 questions incorrectly, how many of them were silly mistakes. Now what is a silly mistake? Silly mistake is that mistake that every individual feels कि यार ये particular question सही होना चाहिए था. This went wrong because I did not read either the passage properly or the question properly, और मैंने सारे options नहीं पढ़े. मेरे को A पढ़ा, मैंने B पढ़ा, मेरे को B इतना सही लग गया that I marked B, but the answer was D, which I did not read at all. Now these are the kind of silly mistakes. See, CLAT always gives you scope to make mistakes. Nobody gets 120 or 120, right? किसी के नहीं आते. In fact 110 भी मुश्किल से किसी के आएंगे, बहुत ही कम आते हैं, नहीं आते, right? तो इसका मतलब error का margin है, but इस silly mistakes का margin नहीं है. तो इसको लेकर चलना पड़ेगा। मान लो आपने पहले एग्जाम में 10 सिली मिस्टेक्स किए, अगले में कोशिश करो यार कि दैट 10 रिड्यूसेस टू से 9 और 8, है ना। धीरे धीरे करके वो उसको हम लोग 0 1 2 कर देंगे, है ना। हम लोग वो स्कोप खत्म कर देंगे कि जो चीज आते हुए गलत कर दी उसका तो कोई सेंस ही नहीं रहा, है ना। जो चीज नहीं आई वो तो गलत हो ही रही है, आते हुए भी चीजें गलत हो गई, तो उसको थोड़ा सा हमें एग्जामिन करना पड़ेगा और हमको खुद से क्रिटिकली एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा हमारे खुद के परफॉर्मेंस को, एंड उस नंबर को कम करने की कोशिश करनी पड़ेगी विद एवरी कमिंग मॉक टेस्ट। एंड द लास्ट स्टेप एज टू व्हाट एनालाइजिंग हेल्प्स यू विद, फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे मैंने बताया कि वी अटेम्प्टेड 90 क्वेश्चंस इन दिस पर्टिकुलर मॉक टेस्ट, विल ट्राई टू अटेम्प्ट 1 or 2 क्वेश्चंस इन द नेक्स्ट मॉक टेस्ट। इससे क्या होगा कि धीरे धीरे करके विल रीच टू दैट 3 फिगर मार्क, 100 to 105 depending on the difficulty level of the question paper is an ideal number of attempts. So by the end of your preparation you should also be able to reach these 3 figures of attempts, तभी आपका अच्छा स्कोर आ पाएगा, आप 80 प्लस 90 प्लस पहुंच पाओगे जो आप एस्पायर कर रहे हो। कम अटेम्प्ट से कम ही स्कोर आता है, आप कितना भी एक्यूरेसी पर ध्यान ले लो वो एक्यूरेसी एक लिमिट तक ही इंप्रूव हो पाती है, इसलिए अटेम्प्ट को बढ़ाना बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो ये समझ में आएगा कि मैं कैसे एक 2 अटेम्प्ट बढ़ाता रहूं हर टेस्ट में अगर मेरे ज्यादा कम है तो, एंड मैं उस पर कैसे काम करूं। So that also you could say make things a lot streamlined, right? If you're looking for any offline mock test series, you can definitely visit 12minutes2clat.com या हमारे आप ऐप डाउनलोड कर सकते हो। इनफैक्ट आप नंबर्स पर कॉन्टैक्ट कर सकते हो। वी हैव एन ऑफलाइन मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज जहां पर आपको 40 मॉक टेस्ट विद प्रॉपर 40 आंसर कीज एज वेल एज यू कैन से दी OMRs जिसमें आपको एक्चुअली टेस्ट देना होगा, वो सब आपके घर में भेज देंगे एट अ वेरी रीजनेबल कॉस्ट। उसके अलावा यू कैन ऑल्सो बिकम अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर बैच दैट वी लॉन्च्ड रिसेंटली कॉल्ड द शिखर प्लस बैच फॉर CLAT as well as AILET 25। इस बैच में भी आपको ऑफलाइन मॉक टेस्ट मिलेंगे और बहुत सारे मॉक टेस्ट और सेक्शनल टेस्ट हमारे पोर्टल पर भी मिलेंगे, अदर देन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड वेरी यूजफुल क्लासेस व्हिच विल इन्वॉल्व कॉन्सेप्ट्स एज वेल एज अ लॉट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस। ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर वेरी वेरी अफोर्डेबल। इन सबका लिंक्स आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा। स्टार्ट अ प्रिपरेशन राइट अवे विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम, और यहां से आप इसको प्रॉपरली अच्छा ले जा सकते हो इन द लास्ट 4 मंथ, बिकॉज अभी आपके पास समय है, ये धीरे धीरे चलता जाएगा और ये समय खत्म होता जाएगा। So do your best, give in that best effort, and everybody I know is listening to me today has that potential. It's just that कि हम उसको उस potential को ना use कैसे कर रहे हैं। What are we doing every single day? Those small steps every single day will take us to glory, and that is for sure. It's a tried and trusted strategy. Every year, a lot of students have done this and have cleared this exam. All the best, guys. I'll see you in class.